Ooh. Hey, what is up, YouTube? It's been a while since I've live streamed, probably like 4 or 5 months, but Happy New Year's, everybody. Don't know how many people are gonna be watching this, but yeah. First sign of me being public of the new year, and today we're gonna be checking out the GPT store. So I just saw this got announced, and I wanted to check it out. And what better to do than check it out online live? Let me make sure all my YouTube stuff is right. Okay, public. Cool. I'm a little bit of sickness, but regardless. So I saw a tweet, and it looks like the GPT store has been launched, and I do have access to the GPT store, so we're gonna just play around with a couple of things, and maybe, oh my, pardon me, and maybe make one myself. I do have a couple of GPTs that I do use, so that might be something to check out. But a majority of what I use the GPTs for are just coding. So I've got my own little Python developer, and I'll probably take a look at that later. Okie dokie. But yeah, I haven't done a live in a while, so might be a little bit rusty. But GPT stores, so OpenAI released a blog today announcing the GPT store. They had announced this last year, I think somewhere around November, where they were going to do the GPT store. Around the same time they launched GPT-4 Turbo. And I guess we'll be able to choose the best GPTs, find what's trending, and create our own. So it looks like the store features a diverse range of GPTs from the partners and community. We can find trending GPTs on the leaderboard for things like Dolly, writing, research, programming, education, etc. And hey, what's up, Micah Kid? Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I think some people are still having the old screen, so you might have to wait a little bit until it gets rolled out to your account. But I should give you a quick. This is how mine looks like. It's got the Explore GPTs tab here, and we can find other GPTs. But let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna continue on in the blog, see what other things they had here. So they have, looks like 6 bulleted points for some featured GPTs. I don't know if I know. Oh, I do know Khan Academy, so I guess that'll be one to try. Canva and a tutor, so that's pretty cool. I like the use of GPTs and ChatGPT in general for being used as like tutors, because that can help a lot in education. And I've already set up mine as a builder account, so I do have it as a builder. And so this is one thing that's pretty cool. In Q1, which I assume we're in Q1 right now, there'll be a GPT builder revenue program. So that's based on user engagement, which is pretty interesting. Because if your GPT gets used a lot, you'll be able to get paid. So that's actually kind of cool. We'll see if I can rank one and see what type of monetization we can make. Japanese professor is one, in fact, that I do own. It's one that I made for the Japanese studies that I was doing. I had custom instructions. So if I show you a quick custom instructions, I have some custom instructions for when I'm reading in Japanese. And I just plop that into Japanese professor, and it helps me decipher sentences in the light novels that I'm reading. So helps out. What's up, Blues? Thank you for tuning in. I haven't been live in so long, but I'm back. What's up, Bows? Of course, no problem. I assume a lot of people would have a blast with RVC, so I had a blast with it, so I shared how it was done. And yeah, I'm glad you've been having fun with it. I do need to do some updated tutorials and stuff on that, but time. So we'll see as we get time. Okay, so I think I've done all the reading that I've needed to do with this blog, but I'm gonna hop into GPTs. And so if you take a look on this left tab here, you have your GPTs, and down below now you should have an Explore GPTs tab. So I believe, yeah, these are the featured ones that were here, and then there's trending, and then, well, look at up here, we got a bunch of different tabs. So I do want to check out the programming one, but I first want to check out Khan Academy's code tutor. So when we click this, it's going to open up in a new tab, and you'll see the GPT page pop up. So if you've never done GPTs before, it kind of brings you to a new chat screen, and it starts you off with 4 different questions you can ask here, or you can just message it individually and directly. And let's see. Thought my friend with fried your 4090. Oh man. Yeah, that would be a scare, because I you know, it's not cheap for 4090, and I think they got even more expensive because they were out of stock. They were like $2,000. So I was glad I was able to get mine at MSRP. But glad that your 4090 is indeed working. If not, that would be a costly mistake. And I have heard that there were melting connectors, but mine luckily has not done any of that. So glad mine is not melting. And yes, the GPTs are live on OpenAI, and it's one feature they announced and released somewhere like last November. But I don't think a lot of, actually, I can't, I take that back. I was gonna say not a lot of people use it, but in my community or my circle, I'm really the only one that uses the OpenAI ChatGPT stuff. So and I think it's only available for GPT or OpenAI Plus users. All right. How are you different? Hey, what's up? What's up, Snow Cult? Good morning, wherever you are. It would be a good noon, good afternoon for me. Appreciate the super chat. And yeah, that would be my second super chat that I've received on live stream. So now I feel like a streamer. So I appreciate it very much. All right, so let's get started with Code Tutor from Khan Academy. And let's see. Help me understand. What does this say? Click to send. Help me understand this programming concept. Okay. One thing that's an issue with ChatGPT is there is a rate limit. So questions like this go towards the rate. At least I think there's a rate limit. Questions like this go towards my rate limit, which would be unoptimal. So generally I like sending them via chat rather than the pre-made questions, unless the pre-made questions are used for more clarification. So here I just wasted a rate. But let me go ahead and pop open some code. Let's see, let's hop into RVC. And we'll pop open some code to take a look at. Infer lib, and then where is the? I forget where everything is inside of here. Infer lib, infer pack, is it infer pack, train modules. Hold on, let me see where Go Web is looking at. Runtime, infer web. was looking for the utils. Okay, regardless. 7 a.m. in Australia. I forgot you're all the way up in Australia, so good morning. Hopefully you got your cup of coffee or cup of tea, whatever is your preference. Yeah, Bing is actually a good substitution for GPT Plus. So if you don't have access to GPT Plus, you GPT-4 or yeah, I guess GPT Plus subscription, then you would want to use like Bing or whatnot, because that's better than GPT 3.5. Okay. Supporter, hey, welcome to Supporter Snow Cult. You are the first supporter of the channel, so very much appreciate it. Oh my gosh, you guys are making me nervous with all of your super chats. Appreciate it, Luz. Thank you so much. And yeah, no problem at all. I'd like to share the content that I do, and whatever appreciation you can give is very much appreciated. I try to share as much as possible without expecting much in return, as long as I give you guys value and all of that cool stuff. So yeah, no biggie at all, but very much appreciated. And yeah, I want to keep it that way. So I digress a little bit. I was trying to find something that I could send to code tutors. So let me go ahead and first ask. I have this code here. I have this function here. Would you be able to help me figure it out? Okay, so this is just a random piece of code from RVC. I'm not actually too familiar with RVC's code base, so it probably would have been a little bit better if we went to like the AI voice cloning one. Let me see if I can pop open to a code base that I do know a little bit more, which would be this one. So I could actually pop into utils and do something like this. But let's see what the code tutor says. Thank you for sharing your function with me. Let's explore it together. This function, train one key, appears to be part of a larger program, possibly related to machine learning or data processing, given the context of training models and processing data sets. And it looks like my Wi-Fi is doing a little bit of buffering, so unfortunately, if you guys are getting any buffering, I apologize. I will probably have to work on my Wi-Fi situation a little bit more so I can get some consistent upload and download speeds. Mostly upload, I assume. The function is structured with several steps, each performing a specific task. It uses Python generators yield, which is an interesting aspect. Generators allow a function to return data incrementally rather than all at once, which can be very useful for memory efficiency, especially with larger datasets. Alright, data preprocessing. Okay, cool. Details aren't shown. Feature extraction. Cool. Model training in this step. Train index. A few questions to consider. Oh, this is kind of cool. Gives us some follow-up questions. Do you understand the purpose of each parameter in the train one key function? Okay, so I've not actually used yield in my programming. So let's just say I am unfamiliar with the concept of yield in Python. Would you be able to explain this a bit more to me? with some explicit examples. All right. So I haven't used the yield. Maybe it's something that I'll need to incorporate into my Python if it's useful. Okay, thank you so much, Snowcole. I'm glad the it did not buffer too much. What's up, Cartoon Rush? Thank you for tuning in. The future timeline. What is the timeline for OpenAI right now? Are you referring to open source AI or OpenAI themselves? In terms of OpenAI, they are. It looks like they're moving towards like this wide use of agents, which in this case would be like ChatGPT, where you got a bunch of specialized agents that can be used to perform or specialize in certain topics. So it seems like that's where ChatGPT is going to, or OpenAI. And then, of course, I think GPT-5 will probably be released sometime either this year or next year. In terms of open source AI, though, I think we're seeing a great burst in discovery or advancement. I think they're slowly catching up. Like, if we take a look at Mixtral, apparently Mixtral, which is an open source AI large language model, is catching up to, or has passed 3.5, GPT 3.5. So that's an interesting discovery, or that's kind of exciting, and that's not too far behind the largest ones out there like GPT-4, Claude 2, all of that. So I think we'll probably get like a GPT-4 level open sourced LLM probably by the end of this year, which would be more than sufficient for most things, I assume. GPT-4 is already pretty fantastic. Okay. Certainly, understanding the yield keyword in Python is crucial, especially when working with large datasets or processes where you need to handle one item at a time without loading everything into memory. Okay, so function to turn it into a generator generates a special type of iterable like a list or a tuple, but unlike lists, generators don't store all the values in memory at once. They generate each value on the fly. Hands back. Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of cool. So you don't have to store everything into one list. Suppose you have a function that returns a list of numbers, each squared. Numbers result list. Okay, append squared numbers. This example computes all squared numbers at once and stores them in a list. This can be inefficient if the list is very large. Yield square numbers generator for I in nums yield square. For number in squared numbers gen print. In this version, squared numbers does not compute all squared numbers at once. Instead, it yields one squared number at a time. Each time you look over, the generator computes the next squared number and pauses its state. Oh. What's up, Just Rise and Grind? Thank you for tuning in. What's up, Shri Sir? Thank you for tuning in. Cartoon Rush, do I think Gemini will pass OpenAI's GPT? I do think in time Google will surpass OpenAI. They've just got so much freaking data. They've got like many decades of search data and data on all of us, so it's data game. I think they're gonna surpass it, you know, within or match it within a couple of years. Okay, so I'm actually going to test this out inside of Visual Studio Code real quick so I can kind of understand what's happening here. And let me pop open a VS Code entitled Kaboom. Okay. So I kind of maybe I should test this off stream, where I'm not learning things. But okay, we've got two. We got two different things here. I'm gonna go ahead and plop this and run this. Okay, run. Put a debug point here. Yeah, that is if AI doesn't kill us all. Indeed. Interesting. Yeah, Luz, I think both. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves, because I know most people have been using GPT or ChatGPT, but things like Google's Bard are probably going to catch up, or are already kind of above it in certain aspects. Okay. Oh, I think I understand what's happening. So it's okay, so this would do it all at once. I see. So this one's not storing it all inside of a list for num in. Okay. And then let me ask a follow-up question. So to clarify, let me see what it says. Imagine you have a large file, you need to process line by line, loading the entire file is inefficient. Instead, you can use the generator to process one line at a time. Okay, so to clarify this, hey, you guys can't see it. No, you can. So to clarify, using yield is equivalent to calling the function for individual elements of the list at when you need them. So in the case above, your calling squared generator each time in the for loop. I don't think I have this understanding correct 100%, but let me see. Yes, you've got the basic idea, but let me clarify a bit. When you use the yield function, that function becomes a generator. Generator is a special type of iterator. You call it generator function, doesn't run its code immediately. Instead, it returns a generate object that will execute when you iterate over it. Okay. You call, doesn't execute the function code. Instead, it returns a generator object. Iterator, when you start iterating over the generator, like a for loop, the function begins to execute it until it reaches the yield statement. At this point, the function provides a value back to the caller. Next time you request the next item, which happens automatically in the for loop, generate function resumes from where it left off. But the key distinction is that the function state is paused between each call and resumes from where it left off. Okay. Gotcha. So it stores the state of the function to continue from. What if you removed the yield and instead just returned the value of the square? What's the difference here? The thing is about GPT 3.5 is it used to be so good, like, or at least maybe my expectation of GPTs have increased over time, which is what maybe that's why it doesn't seem as good nowadays. What's up, Skull? Currently right now I'm just going through GPTs, the GPT store, and just using it right now. I'm testing out Code Tutor and learning some Python code. So yeah, that's what is going on here. And yeah, there's a nice little conversation going on in the chat, so appreciate it. Okay. I would agree with you, Luz, as well. I am a Google user, so if more things were on Google, I would prefer to use Google instead of Bing, just because of my experience with Google, my prior etc. I think it'll struggle with math for a long time until it uses integrated solutions, kind of like the code interpreter and like plugins. But I haven't tested it with math because I haven't needed to use it for math too much. Great question. Let's explore the difference between yield and return. Modify the yield. Okay, in this case, simply calculates the square of a single number, returns that value. Tell me this function, you need to provide a new number, and it gives you back the square of that number. There's no concept of maintaining state or iterating over a sequence with yield as our original number generator function. The function maintains its state between each call, designed to work with a sequence of numbers, and calculates the square of each number one at a time. Okay, but what if I did something? What would be the difference between doing the below and yield, where I iterate over a list to square? Let's do return num x num. Let's say square num equals this list. For num in squared diff square number generator, pass in num and pop that in there. Okay. Yes, Hiffer. It just lets you find GPTs if they're shared, so yes. And yeah, these GPTs would help, or do help quite a bit in all of the language stuff. I use it quite a bit for Japanese, which is very nice. Yeah, 3.5 does tend to go off and do its own thing, or it seems to have very strong priors. So if something in the chat has occurred, if you keep trying to tell it to clarify or change it, it seems to just keep pulling the previous answer it gave you. So I usually just start a new chat with 3.5 and try to get it going that way. Okay. Let's see. And this will be the last thing I clarify with yield before I move on to another GPT. Function definition takes a parameter inside the function using num. This match function should take a single number as an argument, not a list. Mismatch function should take a single number as an argument, not a list, then it returns square. Loop behavior, calling square number for each number, it's not doing anything with the return value. What did I mess up in my original code? For number and squared number. Properly takes in a square number, takes a single number as argument, returns it square. Oh, oops! I forgot to have a variable to take in the returned value. Okay, that's what I did wrong there. Yeah, ChatGPT loves its its answers, so I either will go back and edit what I sent previously or just start a new chat. Usually starting a new chat is the easiest way to go, and it saves you on your rate. What's up, Carson Morris? Yes, the GPT store is open. It is open as of today. Cartoon Rush, you probably would want to make a GPT. For that, I would love to learn Tagalog as well. So maybe I'll make one. Help it out. Have I been playing around with other people's APIs? They put in custom GPTs to make my own things. I have not. I've actually not been using much of the GPT stuff that OpenAI offers, because I usually just use it for just answering my coding questions and helping me out there. Let me see. Okay. The corrected version generator similar in terms of, but they differ in terms of memory usage. Generator version is more efficient for large lists because it yields one squared number at a time. It doesn't store all squared numbers in. Corrected version is a called for a number list and is immediately used. Generator version, the generator object manages the state of the iteration and squaring happens inside the generator function. Be more flexible when dealing with large data. I don't. Well, I guess I could see it. You store the generator as a frozen state and you can call it from any time without having to be stuck inside of like the loop. Okay. So the generator state you can store for maybe later access at the point it stopped. Whereas if you use a for loop for each item and call a function on it, it will most likely finish the for loop and you'll have to store where you stopped in the loop if you want the value at the same point. I think I understand that. Okay, so cool. Code Tutor has said I've grasped the concept between yield. Okay, with the generator using yield, the state is automatically preserved between each yield. This means that you stop iterating on the generator, so you break out of it, blah, 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 blah. Zoom from that point. You use the regular function of loop and want to pause and later you have to manage the state manually. Okay, I understand. Managing the state manually with for loop and calling the function manually rather than using a generator. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Oh, Lion Ryan, what is up? Long time no see, or is it? Alright, please make a GPT. Alright, I see two. Alright, we will make a GPT then. So, if we go into Explore GPTs, you can't see it, but on this right side, I'm trying to move my camera. On this right side, you can see that there is a create button. So if I click create, it's going to bring me to this create page, and now we can start creating. So all right, so one peculiarity with GPT Builder is it sucks at maintaining instructions. And so if you want to make a good GPT, you want to make the instructions by yourself, rather than have it manually do it. Number one, this uses your hourly rate, so you will reach your rate limit quicker if you're trying to make a good GPT with this. Let me go ahead and demonstrate this real quick. Yes, you do need to use 4.0 for this, and it is, yeah, I'll show you guys what I mean. All right. Do you guys have any ideas what type of GPT should I try to make right now? I'll leave that question out there and make one after I see some suggestions. Lion, my JPTB is not coming along. I have, what do I have? I have 348 cards in my backlog that I have to finish, so I've got a bunch that I need to. How about you create a GPT based on your videos, like how to train a model on TTS? That is very specific. The hard thing about that is in its training data, it may or may not have that. Lyric fetcher off YouTube using OpenAI schema. I wonder if I could. I would have to build an action for it to do that, which I have not played around with action. GPT on RVC app architecture helper. Okay, we're gonna go with the GPT. Luz, when you mean app architecture helper, well, what are we talking about here? App architecture helper. Maybe like maybe I'll do like a GPT to help me build a Python app. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Want to create a GPT based on. Oh, that is true. Lyrics do have blocks, especially if they have cursed words. Okay, I want to create a GPT for Python that will guide me through the steps, and that will guide me through the steps and help me think of all of the functions needed in a program or project. All right, so I'm gonna send this one first, just very brief, and see what it comes out with this. Yeah, it might make it fun, but we'd have to see how many issues I'd run into. Usually issues make things not fun. Okay, great choice. How about we name this GPT Python guide? Does that work for you? And then so I'm gonna say yes, this works for me, but let's take a look at the configure. So a Python programming guide aiding in project planning and function brainstorming. Your role is to assist users with Python programming. We could make this bigger, and guiding them through the steps. Let's see. Suggest relevant functions and modules and provide coding advice. You're not just a code generator, you're a collaborative partner in programming, which offers insights, tips, and best practices. When faced with vague or incomplete information, you should ask clarifying questions. Approach should be educational, aiming to enhance the user's understanding of Python programming. Okay, so that is good, but let's say that does work for me. Can we build on it. So here is an issue that this GPT builder seems to have. So here's what I have for my instructions. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this and then plop this into I'm gonna plop this into a file here that we could look at later. Go ahead and save this comparison.txt. And so now if I hop on over into here and continue iterating on it, it's going to change it completely. It looks fine, but I would like to add a few things to it as follows. It should always be verbose in its Python code, not abbreviating the code. What else should it do? It should Alright, let's go ahead just throw that. There's not a few things at a requirement. Alright, slap that in there. Alright, updating GPT. Ooh, Cartoon Rush. That would be an interesting one. You could probably grab the transcript from it and pull it from YouTube. Scripts that transcribe videos. Put input link. Yes, I do have one like that, but you'd have to transcribe it yourself. 3 lines in the browser tool trying to reinforce it not to get lyrics. Oh, interesting. I mean, that kind of makes sense with given all the litigation around OpenAI. What? It looks fine, but I would like to add a requirement to it as following. Okay, so give me a profile picture. Okay, so let me go ahead and copy this, and then we're gonna compare a couple of things. Let's see. Oh, okay. Well, that was actually pretty cool. It did add this additionally into it without changing it, so that is good. But let me go ahead and grab a more complex set of instructions, and then we'll go off of that. Give me one moment. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this as a draft. I wonder if they fix that or if it will still overwrite some things. So here is the Python developer that I made a little bit earlier. And let me edit this GPT and configure, copy this. All right, and then I should be able to hop into this new one that I'm making right now and throw this into here. All right. And so here is the instructions that I have here. This is a much longer one that I have for code. And let me say, can you add additional functionality to the instructions, such as, let's just say something like, okay, coding standards, communication style, problem solving approach. I want to make this part of the instructions more explicit. Could you strengthen this in the instructions? Alright, let's just do that. Yeah, this is interesting. Like, if you add files to your GPT, I haven't tested any of this because I haven't been building GPTs, that people can prompt it to take the files that are in there. That is a very interesting one. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So it looks like they've actually improved this GPT builder. So I'll take back what I said earlier, where maybe it still does happen, but if I were to ask something like this, can you make the instructions more explicit down here? It would almost override my entire instructions, and then it wouldn't just edit and modify this part here. So let me see if I can ask about its instructions. Can you think of anything else in the instructions that would improve the user experience? If so, can you improve upon them? I believe it is exclusive to the subscription, so I don't think you can do it in the playground, unfortunately. Yeah, anything that you prompt, people can like prompt engineer it out. So I would assume putting it behind to where you need to have your own API would make it a little bit more secure. But that is beyond my expertise. I suggest adding the following elements. Okay. Yes, please. Okay. Okay, and all right. Let's see. I think OpenAI is getting better at having the model follow instructions, so hopefully it's less easy to jailbreak for things like that. Okay. Okay, cool. So, sweet. So it looks like OpenAI has fixed the GPT builder to where it doesn't just rewrite your entire set of instructions. So yeah, that might be a good thing to use now. Before, what it would do, let's say I had this large set of instructions here. If I asked it to make any edits to it, it would erase all of these instructions and instead add something short like this to it. So, or add something short like what I have inside of here. So it seems like that issue has been resolved inside of the GPT builder. So that is awesome. Alright, I am going to just delete this one because I already have one of this, and that is good to know that you can use the GPT builder to create your own GPT now without it erasing your instructions. So I think I did see an interesting one in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to get a little bit more into the whole GPT building stuff to see how it handles files. I know you can store files on there and have it use those files to help answer questions. So, all right. Someone suggested in the chat to transcribe YouTube video links, and let me see if it's possible that it can do that. Can you? I want to make a GPT that summarizes videos by grabbing their YouTube transcriptions. How would we make this possible? Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Plant Pal, that's a cute name. Okay, great. Let's give this GPT a unique name. How about Video Summarizer? This is good. Can you make an image as well? Really? Well, what I see it being useful is like you can do things like that, upload the documentation for analysis or for additional help, and it'll be able to use it in the GPT. Personal files, I wouldn't recommend putting any personal files online at all in general, unless you're willing to have the risk of them getting exposed. Here's the profile picture for Video Summarizer. Yes. Okay, cool. So here we have it. We're gonna call this Video Summarizer. Summarizes YouTube videos by analyzing transcripts. This GPT is designed to summarize YouTube videos by extracting and analyzing the transcripts. It should be capable of accessing video transcripts, understanding the content, and then condensing this information to a concise summary to ensure it stays relevant to the main themes of video and voice. Okay, should clarify. GPT's personality should be informative and precise, focusing on delivering clear and accurate summaries. Okay, cool. Summarize a... Alright, so let's go ahead and test this. Let's pull up YouTube and see if it can pull... Oh, look at me, live here. I was watching George Hotz a little bit earlier. Let's see. Let me go ahead and copy Charlie's video link here. See if it can give me a summary. Can you summarize the video at this link? So many people transcribe videos, using them for creating content. Feels like okay, well, this kind of sucks. I'm unable to access the content of the video at the provided link. For me to summarize a YouTube video, you need to describe the video's content or provide its transcript. Once I have the necessary information, I can then create a summary for you. Okay. Okay, so I did see a show transcript. We got a transcript. English. I guess I could just copy all of this. Boom. And so not off to a great start. Let's just throw that transcript in there. I can think of making a custom action, but I don't know how to make an action. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there right now on plagiarism, so that is the thing. What's up, Death Rocks? I don't think I'll be able to help you with that right now. We're doing something different at the moment. But yeah, I don't know Juice WRLD, unfortunately. Okay. This video will discuss the recent trend of prominent YouTubers announcing their departure from regular content creation. Focus on Tom Scott and Matthew Patrick. And Matt Pat is from Game Theory, so... Oops. Can I toggle away the timestamps? Oh, I can. Hey, but hold on. Let me see. Can you turn this into a can you give me timestamps with relevant information following them? Okay. Well, since I did throw it in there with timestamps, this is actually pretty useful for, let's say, giving transcript, or at least giving like timestamps for a YouTube video. Okay. So I've just thought of one additional thing that can make this useful. I'm gonna call this, I would actually like to change it to a timestamp maker for YouTube. Yes, this is the bad way of doing it. I do think there is a little bit of a delay on what I have being played, unfortunately, so you guys may be having a delay, but I feel like I'd have to make an action that could call and pull the transcript from YouTube rather than, you know, manually just throwing it in there. But let me see. I would actually like to change it to a timestamper maker for YouTube. The format it should follow would be starting with the yes, link messages don't come through on my YouTube chat. I think it's a safety feature thing. Only I can send links, I think is it. It can work locally, but I think you'll have to deal with the GPT playground. And I know you can make custom GPTs using the GPT playground, but I never actually got around to that. Discord. Let's see. I didn't find anything on Discord. Yep, nothing on Discord yet. You can slap it in like general all or something like that. Okay, I would actually like to, but let me edit this. I would actually like to change it to a timestamp maker for YouTube. The format it should follow would be starting with the time of the related topic, like the following. Talking about something. Talking about another thing. Only verified users can paste external links. Interesting. Okay. Tell it to use identify video ID and a YouTube link, then use get website and append the ID to. Interesting. Okay, I'll go with that. The poor man's way of doing it. That is, it's accessing an API just by accessing the website. Let's just see. A link to my Luz, you're not inside of my server, huh? I always struggle with trying to share things. Okay, I've got a link. Here's Discord. That is my server. XML. Okay, well, I'll try that after I get this one finished. Shift the focus of the video summarizer to creating timestamps for YouTube videos. Generate a list of farmers should be like this. Alright, let me take a look at this. The GPT is designed to summarize YouTube videos by extracting and analyzing their transcriptions. You'll be capable of accessing. Oh wait, hold on. Anything specific you'd like to add? It should be able to gauge based on the transcriptions, key points the audience may want to know about. Please update the instructions for this. Interesting. Are you using the lyrics for anything in specific, or just kind of just for funds, basically? GPT-4 and you can't just Netflix. See, I don't have a Netflix, so all of that money is going straight to to OpenAI. I do have a Crunchyroll account though, so that is the difference. I also have an AI voice model running. I also have some training running in the background, so I thought it was going to affect my stream a little bit, but it looks like it's not. Or it looks like my training crashed. Oh, actually, no, it's still going. It's still going. Never mind. Take it back. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. This GPT named Video Summarizer is specialized in creating timestamps for YouTube videos. It analyzes video transcriptions to identify, highlight key points that are used to interest the audience. In the topic, it's crucial for GPT to discern the most significant points of the video, and if the transcript is unclear, additional details. Approach is analytical and detail-oriented, aiming to provide useful and precise transcripts. Okay, we'll call this YouTube timestamp creator. All right, cool. YouTube timestamp creator. Let's go ahead and take Charlie's video again. Let's go ahead and copy this transcript. Let me hop into. Let me delete that. All right. Can you create the timestamps? Yeah, I shouldn't even have to do that. Just throw that in there. I should create the timestamps for me. Hey, awesome. Welcome in, Luz. Hey, you know it. Solo leveling, all about that Crunchyroll. Do I use Audio Splitter Whisper to split your files or use the Tortoise built-in? I split my data set beforehand. Just makes things a little bit more nice to me, at least. It helps me kind of just look at the data set before I run it, and so that's why I split it manually. But Tortoise's built-in one, the one by AI voice cloning MRQ, doesn't do too bad of a job either. Based on the transcriptions provided. Okay, so this is pretty cool, but it's giving too many transcripts. This is giving too much detail for the timestamps. Look at the following. I can think of ways to make this more compact, such as certain lines being summarized under a broader heading. Can you update the instructions for this? For example, the following could be summarized with something like this. Old, new, 110, Matt, Pat's, significance on YouTube. And culture. I just say YouTube. Okay, let's read chat. What's up, Hypholic? Thank you for tuning in. RVC is a awesome tool, and I love it just because of all the cool things you can do with it. Glad you're having fun with it in VR chat. Yes, the OpenAI mobile app is, you can chat with it kind of like an assistant. Now, I can't wait until they incorporate it as like an integrated assistant. I would probably use it much more if that was the case. Okay. Let's see. The YouTube has now been updated to focus on providing more concise, summarized transcripts. It'll group related details under a broader heading. Alright, let's take a look at what it did. Analyze the transcription for Oh, okay. So I think never mind. What I said earlier in the stream isn't exactly the case. It looks like it did change this middle part where it made it explicit to the example I gave it, where it should have just left it generalized. So if I was making it manually, I would have left it generalized, and it deleted the previous instruction. So alright, still a little bit better to make the GPT instructions yourself, but let's see if it does better on these transcripts. All right, send this in. Oops. Pause that. I sent the wrong one, actually. Correct. Using more grown-up music. Well, the music that I'm using is from one that I actually originally used in my... is the music that I originally used at the beginning of my YouTube channel. I should probably add some attributions to them inside of my YouTube link. But what I've been using for the longest time is an artist, Sharo. I've just been reusing his stuff for like the past year, but some people noted that it was quite annoying, and then I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, if you listen to it a lot, it gets kind of a little annoying. But I personally do still like Sharo. I do see some people don't. So I've switched to a little bit more of a lo-fi vibe for the music. Lo-fi piano, stuff like that. Timestamps for the YouTube video. Introducing the surprising start. Okay, I don't think this is a little bit better than what it was sending before. So I haven't watched Charlie's video, so I can't tell for sure. But let me do one of my videos. And here's my most recent video. Copy a link. Let me see. Transcript. Slap this in here. Oops. All right. Let me start a new chat. Okay, save, submit. You don't have to be 18 above to join the server. It's just a recommendation, or at least that's how I should have made it. But yeah, generally just older audiences. It's geared towards. New generation. I know about lo-fi. I was just running Sharo for the longest time. Yeah, at the end of it, it is all about preference, which is, I think, in my more recent YouTube videos, I'm going towards just no background music, just because I'm pretty sure that is the most neutral background sound that I can have. Also makes it easier to clone my voice, I guess, if there's no background music, right? What is the best AI text-to-speech for audiobooks? Welcome in, Optic, FTN. Appreciate you tuning in. If you want to do audiobooks, 11 Labs is going to be your best paid option. 11 Labs is quite fantastic. They're the state of the art, I think. I think they're leading the state of the art right now. And if you want local, you're going to want to do stuff like XTTS, RVC, Tortoise TTS, stuff like that. I do have some tutorials on that if you want to check them out. Okay, YouTube transcripts for the video introducing Silly Tavern, AI entrepreneurs, influence demo of Silly Tavern in Japanese with HM from with HM. HM. Why did it say? It should say Hoshomarin. Confusion over AI's response and features. Exploring chat translation feature. Demonstrating English text generation. Launching Uaba text generation GUI. Integrating modern voice. Okay, so I would say this isn't that bad for AI generated transcripts. Let me just leave a comment, see if it actually works. Oh, it does. Nice. And all of that cool stuff. I don't have all that set up, but I'm going to show you when we launch this silly. I guess, yeah. I mean, I personally don't mind if the voice, if my voice is cloned. I have so much content out there already that I just had to accept it. Okay, but let's say AI generated timestamps. You know what I was thinking is like there could be like some hidden background music that could just mess up any like AI models that train on them. That could be a protection against it where it sounds silent, but yeah, no, that could be something. AI generated timestamps, slap that in there.
Despite what happened.
Okay, that didn't work. Maybe I need. I guess these could work. All right. I'm just gonna save this one, slap this on everyone. This probably could be improved. What? Hello? Police? Your changes couldn't be published. Your GPT's name is restricted for public sharing. If this is your organization's is restricted for public sharing. I'm assuming that's because it's a YouTube timestamp creator. Okay, let me change that. Timestamp creator for here, wait. YT. What if I do that? YT timestamp creator. Let's save that. Productivity. Your GPT's name is restricted for public sharing. YouTube. Okay. Yes, I did that to myself, unfortunately. But that's okay. Technology's out there. It exists. It's gonna happen. Yeah, I do think the timestamps would need to be a little bit more broad. But it looks like there are some protections against publishing these GPTs because I wasn't able to do YT or YouTube. Hey, but YouTube YouTube works. Interesting. YouTube timestamp creator designed to be more. I could just do video timestamp creator. Yeah, update that. Everyone. Productivity. Yeah, that is very true. They're in a lot of legal battles, so they probably don't want any issues with that litigation. These apps only available to paid users. Dragon Salt. Thank you for tuning in. I believe so at the current moment. The GPTs are premium or ChatGPT Plus users only. Let me edit if the video is, yeah, I would agree with you, Cartoon Rush. Time steps need to be a little bit more broad. Let me see. I would like to make the transcripts more broad. An example of what was created is below. But there are too many time stamps here. Can you give suggestions and improvements to the instructions to make this more applicable? Bard is good, because I think Bard is using Gemini Pro? I don't know what they call it, but the GPT 3.5 version of Gemini is being used on Bard right now. The only thing that's beneficial if you use OpenAI is that you get access to the things like the GPTs, and that's about it. And you can do manual instructions and all of that. Certainly, to make the time steps broader, we can adjust the GPT's behavior to focus on capturing the primary themes of video rather than every detail. This approach will reduce the number of time steps and provide a more general overview. Instruct GPT to segment the video into major sections. Okay. Oh, okay. Minimum time threshold. Yes, please. Those are good improvements. You can also generate images on Bing, so that is one thing that is kind of cool about Bing Chat. I would have to agree, though, that it is weird. I remember back in the days with the original Bing Sydney. I thought that one was pretty unique. I got gaslit by Sydney before they basically killed off Sydney. Okay, so here's one thing. I thought it would be a little bit more detailed in these instructions, but I guess this is fine. Segments videos, broader subs, the minimum time threshold. Set, only creating. Excessive time towards the end of the video. Okay, cool. This might be a little bit better. Alright, let's slap this in here. Alrighty. I know Bing being greater than Google. Google search is still better than Bing, but yeah, Bing's AI is just much better. Or nowadays, I haven't tested out Google's, unfortunately, too much, so. Sydney was funny. Sydney was funny. I did enjoy talking to Sydney. Okay, so this is doing the timestamps incorrectly. It is giving me a summary. I want to be able to post this in a YouTube videos comment section, so it does not need the large summary. Currently the GPT is outputting the below. Could you make it explicit to not provide these small summaries after the timestamp? Oops. I would normally, Carson, but I'm trying to utilize the stupid GPT creator to see if it can generalize and do it better than making it manual. But yes, if I wanted to make it manual, I'd provide an explicit instruction to what format I want. Yeah, this is probably going to result in the same thing, so all right, let's just try this. Being interface. I think that's just because we're used to Google or something like that. Oof. Okay, so that was a little better, but yeah, Carson, that's exact what I was noticing. Oh, earlier in the live stream, it didn't erase everything and rewrite it, but it seems like it's still back to the same norm. So yeah, that is unfortunate. All right, let me go ahead and run over into a. Let me use this. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about the GPT builder. It's not good for any detailed set of instructions. It'll delete your instructions and then you'll have to come back to it later. So it's better to just build it outside of the GPT creator to avoid the unfortunate deletion of your instruction set. Because at least these you can go back to. If it's inside of the GPT builder or the instructions, you can't go back to. So I am creating a YouTube transcript timestamp creator, and I need to give an instance of ChatGPT a set of instructions to follow. Here is what I have right now. Can you give me clarifying instructions? Oops. I don't want to go past my rate limit, so I'm using 3.5 right now. Can you please start by asking clarifying questions? Yeah. I don't want to go past my rate limit for 3.5 because that GPT builder uses 4.0 and that also counts towards your rate. So, and also not only does that count towards your rate, but using the GPT I think counts towards your rate. And given that, I'm almost out. So, I need to use 3.5. Thank you for providing the instructions. And 3.5 is decent. So, we can go with that. Thank you for providing the instructions for the YouTube times created below. Okay, let's copy that. One, are there any specific criteria for determining what constitutes a major theme? Major themes. Taking the scope of the video, major themes can encompass a section. Major themes can encompass a section that talk about a certain topic before transitioning to another. Okay. 25 per 3 hour. What in the bizarreness? Well, they might have changed that. I just inferred this based on a previous based on my previous usage of the GPTs. But the builder does in fact count towards your rate, and so does so does testing it out. So that's why I'm using 3.5 right now. Oh yes, I love competition. Competition breeds innovation because if you don't want to be left behind, then you've got to innovate and become better. That's why I very much appreciate all of the open source stuff as well too. Let's keep it at a minute minimum. When the GPT identifies key sections of the video, how should it label these sections? Are there predefined labels categories? It should base it on the content as a whole. Might be beneficial to generate Can you provide an example by single summary timestamp? Can you provide an example of what you mean by single summary timestamp? I have no clue what this means. No clue what this means, but it should follow. Appreciate it, Carson. Happy New Year's, and thank you for tuning in. Really much appreciate it. What type of innovations would you want to see for Crunchyroll and Funimation and Cartoon Rush? I do think there are some issues, like the usability of some of their sites is questionable. And that's really about it. How should the GPT handle cases where the video content is unclear? It should do its best to summarize it, and if not, just forego that summary and leave it to the previous. Yeah, I think Crunchyroll's not too bad because there is quite a bit of anime on there, and since they took over Funimation, I thought they were going to merge with Funimation, but Funimation still exists. Which, I don't know, like, I don't know why Funimation still exists. I wish they just combined it all into one. I was trying to watch How Not to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, but apparently I think that one is on Funimation only, which sucks. Any, oh, absolutely. I used to have VRV, and I used to use that for Crunchyroll, and then they kind of killed VRV, so that's unfortunate. I think VRV's was better than Crunchyroll's, not gonna lie. Is there any specific format or structure you would like the timestamps to follow when presented in the YouTube comments, or should they be presented in a simple list? Is there any specific format? No. Should look like the following, where there's the time and then section. Can do something like intro, but just forego the outro. Here's videos requirements regarding the user interaction with GPT. Not that I know of right now. Too used to 720p. Really want to pay us when you can just stream it online. Now, Dragon Salt, is 720p too low of a quality or good enough quality? I thought Crunchyroll goes up to 1080p, for example. Oh, that would be really good. An integration with My Anime List or Any List for Crunchyroll, that would be fantastic, because then I could look up what the reviews are on it immediately. That'd be pretty dope. Okay, thank you for adding the additional details, but here's a more detailed set of instructions. You give okay. Let me alrighty. This to me in markdown format with the numbers, so that I can also copy the numbers. Okay. Oops. I'm gonna say, can you give this to me in a code block? Alright. Yeah, that they won't do that type of integration. I could see that being like a useful Chrome extension, Cartoon Rush. Oh, gotcha. Well, I think 720p starts to really break down when you watch on like those 4K TVs, because then you start to see the little the not the little anymore, the big pixels on those 4K TVs. I personally just watch mostly on my phone, so it doesn't really matter too much as well for like 720p. have a video on audio transcription with. It'd be cool to have a video on audio transcription with accurate speakers to make subtitles way faster. Zonas, what do you mean by that? Like Japanese subtitles or something else? You can now copy and paste these instructions. Cool. All right. So let me pop this into the GPT that I was making a little bit earlier. I will probably have to go in like a couple of minutes because I gotta get ready for work. But let me see. All right. Identify the you are to make timestamps for YouTube for videos using the following instructions. Okay. Create concise content already. Well, let's go ahead and now slap in the thing I have here and see what happens. Yeah, phone watchers don't need more than 720p. Below that though, yeah, 480p, you can notice the issues and whatnot. WhisperX makes an SRT file from audio, just one easy way to transcribe videos with accurate speakers. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, speaker diarization is a little bit hard just because you got overlapping speakers and whatnot. I think that's still a work in progress for the people that are working on Whisper. But you can create the SRTs, which gives a decent enough transcript. But anywhere where there's overlapping speakers, I think it struggles a little bit. I do need to make an updated transcriber, as there are some technology improvements that I think would make it a little bit better. Let's see. Okay. Introduce demo of the text-to-speech and language translation features. Was it really a minute? Okay, I don't like how it's like split a minute by minute, because it's obviously definitely not like that. Yeah, that speaker transcription or transcribing, that would have to be. Yeah, I think for that it's still a work in progress for the people on the WhisperX and all of that, but it's getting better, so that's the great thing about it. I actually don't like setting the minimum to be a minute. There should be is it possible to make this more flexible? Right, let me slap this into the GPT. Oops, my GPTs, edit. All right. TTS samples based on SRT files with accurate audio duration based on the timestamps. I think that would be pretty cool. in that case, you would be able to kind of redub something actually. If you actually look, what is it? 11 Labs kind of has this redubbing feature. I don't know how they do it, and I haven't seen anything open source that does it for that in that manner. So that would be something to look at. Like what's it? Matt Vid Pro has a video going over that, I think. Yeah. I think this is the video if you want to take a look at this dubbing, 11 Labs dubbing. 11 Labs dubbing. I think that's a pretty cool feature. But they obviously have some type of speaker diarization for that. Yeah. It's not free, but their speaker diarization is pretty good, so... Or at least from what I saw inside of Matt Vid Pro's video. I never tried it myself because I didn't want to spend the money. AI has made me slightly less patient. I would agree with that. But I'd much rather wrangle with the AI sometimes rather than wrangle with the code. Interesting. Okay, well, I mean, that is a limitation. So, the biggest thing about this AI stuff is if you want a feature now and it doesn't exist, there are two things you can do. You can wait or you can innovate. So, most of us are on the side of waiting. So, the good thing is, I know that's going to happen in the future. Just the way that things have been advancing. So in this case, I'm on the wait side. There are some things I want to be on the innovate side of things, but I haven't. Based on the content of the video, here are the timestamps. Experimenting, translating the chat, setting up the Uoba Boga. Uoba. Oh my goodness. Exploring. I guess this is a little bit better. If I go to my video. Oh, there I am. Let me AI generated timestamps. Demo of the Silly Tavern. And let me try this. Let me try these. Demo of the Silly Tavern. Alrighty, so here I. Cool. I think that's accurate. Start the conversation and say good morning. Okay. Nice. Feature that you can do, which is translate chat. Okay. Cool. I like that. First things, I'm gonna launch the Uga. That works. Loading. This as me loading the local LLM. Oh, nice. This is doing pretty well. And exploring Silly Tavern. So I do have some characters in here. I'm just playing. Okay. Customizing. Have things hard coded into here. So we're going to be using Marian's voice. Okay, nice. Customizing SATS and adding RVC. It's the same name, so it's going to use this model now. Now we can go into X. Oh, here we are. And I'm going to give... All right, I think... Show Serafina real quick. Serafina is the... I think these transcriptions are not bad, so... Let me... I guess I'll pin it after the video since I'm on my other alternative account. But that is good. Cool. Video timestamp creator. Okay, what did Hiffer say earlier? Let me see. YouTube transcription. Tell it to identify video ID. yes, lots of patience with AI. People, I have relative patience with people, but it depends. What does relative patience mean? It depends on the day. I would actually also like to add this to the instruction set in case I want to just provide a YouTube link. Alright, and this is what Hiffer told me to do. I know people get confused about something, but an AI with high capabilities. Let's see. I understand the AI with limitations just because of I don't know, technological limitations at the current moment. But I'm not gonna pretend like I understand exactly why. I just know it's just the AI limitation, so it's kind of like it is what it is. You don't want to use a lower rated motor for something you need to move that's heavier. Hey, dubbing with 11 Labs. I'll have to you surprised yourself. AI is as good as its creator and also as good as the underlying model. But underlying model is pretty good. Okay, let me throw this into 9. I'm gonna put on code interpreter and see if this will work. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to directly access the URL you provided. However, if provide instruct, then use the get website. Okay, it ended up resulting in this. Can I make it more explicit to reference YouTube transcript link? I apologize, but I am unable to directly open the URL for there. And providing a YouTube link to identify the video within the link using code interpreter. Then use the extracted video ID and the to append the video ID to the following URL. timestamp. All right, let's try this. Sorry. Uh-oh. My camera ran out, so I am now frozen. Can you access this link? It's in XML format. Shoot. Alright, let me get a new battery for my camera. Since it's not a user-provided link and is not recognized by my system. What do you mean not recognized by the system? Okay, this XML file does not have any style associated. Yeah, I think that's due to AMD, unfortunately, with the possibly due to AMD. I know the MRQ creator, or the one that created the GUI app, was able to train on an AMD card. What? Constructing the XML URL for at the website here. There the content of the. Can you instead read the contents of the page? Interesting. Okay, well, had to play around with it a little bit more, but it'd be nice if you just throw in a YouTube link and actually get that going. So, alrighty, well, if you did want to use this to summarize some transcripts, you could probably just throw in a large video into here. And be good. But I'm gonna have to get out of here because I do have to get ready for work. So I do appreciate all of you guys tuning in today. There was a lot more viewers on here than when I last previously streamed, so appreciate you guys talking and engaging with me. But yeah, if you guys like these live streams, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment, all that cool stuff, and I will see you guys later. See ya.